I'll give you guys a second to get all connected.
No, right here.
My face is so moist from breathing in my mask. It's fine. I have no secrets.
That's why we love you.
Might even start a few minutes early. Guys, good to go? Okay. I swore we'd start on time, and we're going to start just a minute early. Thank you guys all for coming today. My name's Jana Haynes. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Northern California Coalition of Election Officials by way of Sacramento County. And thank you guys all for joining us today for National Voter Registration Day and for the introduction of our our Northern California Coalition of Election Officials that we've created to increase voter registration, voter education, and voter participation. We're here at Golden One today because they have graciously offered to be the largest vote center in Sacramento County. And to tell you more about our partnership is the President of Business Operations for the Sacramento Kings, John Reinhardt.
Thank you, Jana, and welcome everyone to Golden One Center. We are really excited to partner with Sacramento County to really provide increased access in a safe, socially distanced place for our residents to come out and register to vote and then cast their ballots on November 3rd. Golden One Center was always built under Vivek's vision of being the central point, gathering place of downtown Sacramento, the capital of California. And we're happy to say for 11 days at no cost to the county, this building will be transformed into a voting center from October 24th to November 3rd so people can come out, have their voices heard, register to vote, and also cast their ballots. We're also happy to provide paid time off to all of our employees and team members so they can actually serve as elected officials, election officials. We just think it's important to participate where we can in this important thing. You know, our right to vote is one of the most important things we have as Americans, and it's critical to our democracy. It's critical to who we are as a country. And now more than ever, it's important for us to get out there and vote. We always want to use our platform of the NBA and the Kings to make a difference in our community. And that's why we've partnered with over 40 professional teams through NBA, WNBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, National Hockey League, the MLS, the NWSL, all to bring back a nonpartisan coalition, Rally to Vote. And that coalition's job is really to provide access for those people who want to register to vote, get out and vote, provide them the tools to make it easy for them. We think voting should be easy. It's one of our rights, and we want to try to make that as easy as possible for everybody. So, you know, we want to encourage all of our fans to get out and vote. We want to encourage all the residents of Sacramento to get out and vote. And thank you all for being here, and we will see you on November 3rd.
Thank you, John. And on behalf of Sacramento County, thank you so much for offering up your place as a vote center. We're really excited to offer this to our voters. So next we have representatives from our Northern California Coalition of Election Officials to talk about what voters can expect with their ballots, with the elections, with in-person voting, and some of our safety precautions due to the COVID pandemic. So you're going to hear from representatives from El Dorado, Yolo, and Sutter counties, and then we also have representatives from Nevada, Sacramento, and Placer County on hand to answer any questions and do interviews. So right now we're going to hear from El Dorado County Registrar, Bill O'Neill.
Thank you, Jana, and I want to thank the Kings and the Golden One Center as well. This is an amazing venue to hold this. I don't think I've been in a facility quite this nice in my life, let alone has somebody asked me to talk. It's great to look out there and see all the smiling faces behind those masks. I know everybody's smiling. Happy National Voter Registration Day. It's a great day for us to hold this event. I'm sure everybody here is registered to vote. Anybody who's not registered to vote or would like to check their voter registration, please go to the Secretary of State's website at sos.ca.gov. You can verify your address, make sure that the ballot's going to be mailed to the correct location, et cetera. I'm going to be talking to you about voting by mail. And in this election and in this atmosphere that we have for this election, there's a lot of talk about vote by mail and whether it's safe and how it's going to be conducted in a really safe manner. So I'm going to be speaking about that. In response to COVID, the COVID pandemic, Assembly Bill 860 was passed that requires every eligible registered voter to receive a ballot by mail. Now, that's not new to us here in California. In California, voting by mail has been handled for years. It was changed in 2007 from absentee voting to being called vote by mail. Absentee voting is something that somebody requests a ballot to be sent to them. Well, here in California, we just call it vote by mail because ballots will be mailed to every voter. One of the things that's really important to note, voting by mail from home is one of the safest things you can do during the pandemic. You're in the safety of your own home. You make your home your polling place. Now, we know there are people that really want to vote in person, and those opportunities are going to be absolutely available to every voter. And my colleague Jesse will talk about that in a moment. One of the things that you really need to understand about the safety of voting by mail in California is 15 counties mailed ballots to every voter in the state in March already through Senate Bill 450, the Voters' Choice Act. 15 counties mailed ballots to every voter and provided in-person voting. So the ability to handle voting and vote that volume of ballots coming back is not new to California. We've been doing it for years. The numbers of vote-by-mail voters throughout the years has increased. Every year it's gone up. In our county, El Dorado County, 80% of our voters voted by mail in the last year and a half. 96% of 94% of eligible voters who received a ballot in the mail returned that ballot, as contrasted with in-person voting was a much lower number. So a lot of people are returning their ballot by mail because it's easy and it's convenient. Some of the ways that we guarantee the safety of voting by mail. Voters can track their ballot through the process. From the time it leaves the post office, you can track that ballot until it gets to you. When you mail that ballot back, several counties have the ability to also show you, or you can look up through Where's My Ballot, available on the Secretary of State's website. You can watch that ballot get back to our office. The other thing you can do is check the website for the status of that ballot to make sure we've received it, to make sure it's been counted, the signature was verified, and you are in charge and have the power and control to verify that your ballot was received and is being counted, which I think is a critical tool for all voters. The other thing that we do to ensure every voter's ballot is counted, we have a signature on file for every single voter that receives a ballot. We check every single ballot against that signature. So you sign your envelope, you mail it back to us, every single ballot gets checked against that record. A lot of people think it can't be possible to check that many. I'll tell you, in El Dorado County, we have 129,000 voters. We checked about 65,000 signatures in March. We expect to check over 100,000 signatures in November. That's not going to be a problem. We have all the tools in place to do that. It's checked by an automatic signature recognition system. We also check with staff. Staff will review those signatures. They've been trained in signature recognition. People's signatures change over time. We understand that. That's okay. They've been trained to identify signatures that change over time and still accept them. Even if we do not accept a ballot, we send a postcard to that voter letting them know their signature didn't match or their envelope didn't have a signature on it. They can sign that postcard, send it back to us. As long as the signature matches, we will absolutely count that ballot. It's really important for voters to understand we do everything we can to count a ballot. You took the time to vote it. We're going to take the time to make sure it's accurate, and we're going to count it. Some of the other things that have been made available, the federal government and the state government has done a fantastic job giving monies to counties to help us increase the capacity for vote by mail. So there are counties out there that are purchasing high-speed central count scanners to scan those ballots in, capture those signatures, make monies available for auto signature verification systems, ballot boxes like this one, where voters can drop their ballot. We want to make dropping your ballot as convenient as possible. So the counties are making every effort. You can drop your ballot in the post office. It's postage paid. You don't have to pay to return your ballot. Please send your ballot back either through the post office. You can drop it at a drop box that's picked up by election staff. That's absolutely handled very securely only by election staff. There's 3 locks on that box to protect it. We have drive-up boxes in our county where you just drive up, drop it in a box. Completely safe way to handle it. Closer we get to the election, we'll pick up ballots every single day. And some locations will pick up ballots multiple times a day. So you can send them in the, back in the post office, you can drop them in a drop boxes, or you can go to vote center or precinct that your county has. We'll have drive-up ballot drops at our precincts, at our vote centers, so voters don't even have to get out of their car. They can hand it to an election official and just keep on driving on and get on with the rest of their day. So we want to make sure it's easy to return your ballot. Some of the other things that are important to note is Assembly Bill 860 also allows for ballots to be counted up to 17 days after the election, up to November 20th, as long as it is stamped by the post office by election day, November 3rd. So as long as that ballot is received by our office, even if it's November 19th, and it's postmarked by November 3rd, we'll absolutely count that ballot. So they've given us extra time to ensure if there's any issues with the postal delivery, we can still count ballots that come in late. Every election official in California, and I know them and work with them personally, and that's why we have this coalition, is absolutely committed to making sure this is a fair, safe, and accessible election for all our voters. This is one of the most critical elections that we have faced, and every election official in this state is committed to making sure that it's a good, safe, secure election, and every eligible ballot is counted. One of the things that as I mentioned earlier, we absolutely are going to do in-person voting, and that's something that my counterpart, Jesse Salinas from Yolo County, is going to talk about, is how in-person voting will be safe throughout your county. I encourage every voter to check with your registrar, check with your elections office, spend a lot of time on the Secretary of State's website. They have all these tools available, very readily available. So I'll turn it over to Jesse Salinas from Yolo County to talk about in-person voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, for the introductions. Again, Jesse Salinas, Yolo County Registrar of Voters. Together, we can make this a safe election. Here are some important steps registrars across the region are taking in preparation for this upcoming election in response to COVID-19. First, offering safe, in-person voting locations that adhere to distance requirements, physical distance requirements at every location. Second, increasing disinfecting protocols at each election site. Third, providing personal protective equipment to all election workers. For those still concerned about COVID-19 exposure on election day, there are 3 safe alternative options. 1, you can mail in your ballot. 2, you can use a ballot drop box option to return your ballot, as one displayed here. 3, if you decide to vote in person, consider voting early to avoid lines and crowds on election day. However you decide to vote, know that we are prepared to serve you and run a successful and safe election this November. Together, we got this. Next, Donna Johnston, Sutter County's Registrar of Voters, will provide a county regional overview. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm Donna Johnston, Sutter County Registrar of Voters. While every active registered voter will receive a ballot from each one of our respective offices, there are different in-person options which vary by county. Ballots are going to hit the mail stream starting October 5th. You can return your ballot as previously discussed. You can also receive a ballot at these in-person locations if you're a new voter, or you can request a replacement ballot if necessary at one of the various in-person options. Sacramento, being our largest, most populous county in our coalition, will have in-person voting options and in-person voting locations such as the one you're in right now. And they will start opening on October 24th. El Dorado, Nevada, Placer, Sutter, and Yolo will have 4 days of in-person options starting October 31st to November 3rd. Yuba will have traditional polling places open on Election Day, November 3rd. Some counties will offer drive-up, no-contact ballot drop-off locations in various formats. All will have secure outdoor and indoor drop boxes throughout the respective county where voters can drop their ballot off. California voters can drop their ballot at any California location and it will be forwarded to the respective county. We encourage voters to check their county's website or call the elections office for information specific to the county in which they live. We also encourage voters to check their registration and to vote early. Together, democracy works. I'd like to welcome back Jana Haynes for any questions that you all may have.
Thank you, Donna. So now we'll have an open Q&A session that any of our 3 registrars up here or any of our 3 representatives that were not speaking are available for. After our open Q&A session, we'll also have the opportunity to do one-on-one interviews with any of our representatives. If you have a question during this open Q&A session, there's 2 microphones that are set up that you can walk down to and ask your question. We ask that you stand back from the microphone to keep it socially distant. So we'll open it up to any questions that you might have. If we don't have any questions for this format, then we can move directly into one-on-one interviews. I see Ashley making her way down.
I'm a little short for this. Hi, Ashley Wong from Sacramento Bee. Just wondering what sort of outreach, if any, you're doing to get to Asian American Pacific Islander voters and also non-English speaking voters.
You want to take it?
Yes, thank you for the question. So I can speak on, in Yolo County, we've done a great deal of outreach with community leaders to work at those populations that you described. We are actually also providing translation of documents in Yolo County and also in Spanish, in Chinese, Korean, Punjabi, and actually we're even providing some translations in Russian since West Sacramento has a large Russian-speaking population. So we are providing translations in those groups. We are also doing outreach efforts since part of this coalition where we are doing radio announcements to provide information to the Spanish-speaking community and other language groups as well. So I think every county has their own take on how they're doing it, but all of us are definitely doing different outreach efforts that are based in the community, providing language translations for not only outreach in the radio, but also in print.
I can also just add from a Sacramento County perspective that we work pretty closely with community-based organizations that work specifically with those populations in kind of a peer-by-peer trusted manner to make sure that they have information. We also try to staff our vote centers in populous areas with specific populations with people that speak those languages so that they can come to the vote center and get the information that they need in language and their ballot in language as well. We can either mail them a ballot in their language or print one out for them at the vote center.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the group format? Are you guys ready to break up and do one-on-ones? Okay. Then we'll go ahead and break up and do one-on-one interviews. We can do them either on the floor. There's screens on all sides that have the backdrop. If you would like to use that as the backdrop, we can also go up onto the concourse or even go outside, wherever you guys would like the backdrop. Just let us know who you'd like to interview. Oh, we have a quick question. Just kidding. That's okay.
Real quick, what is the importance of having this arena part of the voting, in-person voting?
Courtney, do you want to take that or you want me to? Come on. You can just use that microphone right there. Or no, I guess they want to film you. Come on up.
Okay.
Come on, Courtney.
Come on, Courtney.
You got the right shirt on, too.
Hi, good morning. Courtney Bailey Canellis, Registrar of Voters for Sacramento County. We were very grateful when, oops, I guess we can take this off there. We were very grateful for the Sacramento Kings actually reaching out to us, wanting to participate and provide such a large in-person voting option for our voters. Initially, when we were discussing it, we all had the same goal in mind, to have a large enough space where people can socially distant while not only voting, but waiting in line, and also providing plenty of equipment and space to wait, to register, and to vote in person. So the space really just provided us that in-person opportunity for large social distancing space, and I just can't thank the Sacramento Kings enough for providing us this great location, and of course their staff as well, to help us free of charge. I mean, in my wildest dreams, I never thought we would have a location like this. So I'm just so grateful to provide this for our voters and our Sacramento County residents.
We have any other questions for this format? Anybody? Going once? Okay, we'll go ahead and break up. If you just want to let me know who you would like to interview and where you'd like to do it, we'll start to get people out there.